Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Danny Bonaduce, life coach. You should call me right now, 1-800-252-1025. We also happily take your emails at lifecoach@kzok.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's start with Michael in Bellevue. Good morning there, Michael.
Morning, Danny.
How are you?
I'm doing okay this morning.
You don't sound that good, buddy.
It's the reason I'm calling.
All right.
So there is a coworker that since she was moved off of our main floor and put into this other position, has been making it difficult for my entire team.
Mm-hmm.
Actively or without care, denying or forgetting to do and include us, our team, in the events that go on at our workplace.
All right, so is she taking credit for work you guys do or something else?
No, it's not possible for her to take credit for the work that we do.
Okay.
But awards or acknowledgments that we have earned, not given.
Okay. All right, so what's your question for me? Because I think I got it.
I'm wondering how the best way to deal with this is, as I'm not in a position to actively do anything about it myself.
Yeah, you are. I mean, when you say not actively, if the problem was different, because, you know, vengeance is mine, says Danny Bonaduce. If you called me up and there was a different scenario than this, I'd tell you, man, you know what? You disable her car. You make it so she can't get to work enough times that they fire her. Okay, that's not what's happening here. And by the way, don't do that to your fellow coworker. But here's the thing here, Michael. Here are the magic words, and we've discussed this before around here. Hostile work environment. Now, if you go to your boss and in your description of what's happening with this lady, you say hostile work environment, that is the same reaction he has to respond. He is legally responsible to react the same way that he would if a woman came to him and said, Michael has groped me physically in the lockers or in the bathroom. He'd have to jump through hoops. A hostile work environment is the exact same thing. He has to legally get on that. Now, let's get a little bit better. While you're saying, hey, this is a hostile work environment, you sounded terrible when you called up, and I asked you why, and you said it's this problem. I believe you. I believe you can't sleep at night over this. I believe you've developed medical problems over the stress that you're under for your work environment. When you say that, when you say hostile work environment, along with health problems, he's going to jump all over this. And firing people, as we've learned lately, is very, very difficult. But he's going to move her, and he's going to move her fast because he wants no problem with no part of you and your coworkers having a hostile work environment, including a very possibly actionable health crisis. So go hostile work environment, tell him you're getting sick about it and cough once or twice or look terrible, and he's going to freak out and he's going to take care of it, Michael. Good job.
If you've got a question for the life coach, you should be dialing 800-252-1025 because any kind of problem you have, Danny can help you.
I just helped that guy. All that stuff I just told him was totally true. That guy will jump through hoops to get her out of there.
Well, now you can help Oscar calling from Joint Base Lewis McChord.
All right. Hi, Oscar.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Bonaduce?
Incredibly well.
All right. Hey, so I got a buddy that's incarcerated, and he's on kind of like the cleanup crew that he does all the cleanup on the side of the highways and stuff.
You know how we talk about, no matter what your problem is, Danny has had that? I used to do that with Kiefer Sutherland on the 405 in Los Angeles. So I got this one, man. What do you need, Oscar?
Okay. So he got a hernia, and he's got a lump in his belly.
Right.
And he got seen by the medics there, but they won't do anything for him.
Why not?
Because they say it's not their problem.
Well, they're wrong. They're really wrong. How did he get the hernia? How does he believe he got the hernia?
From picking up trash and stuff on the side of the road.
That's what I believe. I believe that. Here's the thing. I will tell you this, because I'll tell you why they're responsible. How come when a child molester or a double axe murderer goes to jail, they put him in lockdown and don't put him out in the yard? because they'll kill him. Well, we don't care. Nobody cares if you're going to kill a child molester, because the people that own and run the jail are legally responsible for the welfare of that inmate. If he gets killed on the yard in General Pop, his family is going to sue. If he doesn't get killed but just gets shanked or broken up, he's going to sue. Why? Because the prison industry, the prisons are definitely responsible for that guy. So they're responsible. The people that are incarcerating your buddy Oscar are absolutely 100% responsible for his health. So here's the thing on this: it's a lot of salesmanship. What happens is the people that he talked to in the medical unit or whatever it is don't believe that he knows the trouble that he can cause them. Let him know to stand up a little bit. What are they going to do? Put him in jail? Go and let them know, hey, this is your responsibility. I gladly followed your orders to go out in the street and keep the highways clean, man. And I lifted up something and I got this. And you know what? They're not going to give him a ton of money. He's a convict. I mean, he could. If it ruptures and they ignored it, he could get a ton of money. But they are, if he pushes, and he should push the right way, they are going to give him an operation on his hernia so he doesn't sue further. They are, in fact, I promise you this, they are 100% responsible for his welfare.
All right, if you've got a question, 800-252-1025. Danny Bonaduce is here for you right now. Make that call. Liz in Seattle, you're on with Danny Bonaduce.
Hi, Liz.
Oh, did we lose Liz?
I think we lost Liz.
I think we lost Liz. All right.
I didn't get to read the whole thing. She's having a problem with her employer, and I need to know a little more.
All right, we will wait for Liz to come back. And
yeah,
in the meantime,
buttons are you pushing?
We'll get you to an email from Stacy in Seattle. A couple of months ago, I met a guy. We started dating. Things are going great, with one exception. He's a vegan. I love meat. It's become a pain arranging meals and choosing restaurants based on what he can and won't eat. I'd like to convert him to my meat-loving lifestyle, but part of me thinks that's not fair. I should accept him as he is. Do you think I can get over this long term? Should I try to bring him over to the meat side, or is this a sign it's not meant to be?
I think you should try and bring him over to the meat side, and then you should try. There's some very good on Fridays. Amy and I are starting things like our backgammon game at 6:30, things like that. Friday we go to a truck called No Bones About It. It's a vegan truck. We're not even vegans anymore. That lasted about a month, but it's good and it's a thing that we like to. So there are some places. There's a place called. Not Bloom. Anyway, there's a couple of really good places that we go. So you could go there as a non-vegan and eat the food and like it. And there's enough stuff in Seattle that he can eat in a restaurant where you can get meat. Having said all that, once you've done everything you can do and it's still bumpy road, I say call it off. It's just too big of a hassle. I was a million times, if I was single and I met the hottest girl in the world and she was a vegan, I'd try it for a month. You can't do it. And food's everything. They made everything else illegal or addicting. I got food left now. So try it. And if you can do it, I think great. But if you don't meet in the middle with some good comfort soon, I say you got to dump this guy and go have a T-bone. Whatever bone you're getting from this guy is not worth it.
It's the vegan thing is tough because, I'm vegetarian. My husband eats meat. I cook him meat. I don't care. But the vegan thing is definitely a lot harder.
My daughter is a hardcore vegan, and I'm trying to set up a family vacation. We've never been on one, certainly since the divorce, with her little brother and her. And the fact that she's a vegan, that puts a damper in a bunch of things. Like Amy and I are going to Hawaii for our vacation for our anniversary. And I think, well, Hawaii would be good for the kids, wouldn't it? If you can afford it, it'd be great. No, there's a vegan. She doesn't even eat fish, man. She eats oats or whatever the hell she eats. So, yeah, I say break up with this guy. If you don't solve this soon, break up with him before you get too attached.
All right, we're on now with Ken in Centralia. It's Danny Bonaduce, life coach. You're on, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Danny, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. What's up?
Hey, I got a issue with the lady I'm seeing. I live in Centralia and I work in Gig Harbor, so it's like an hour drive every day both ways.
Right.
And this lady, she has some mental issues and is on medication, but for the life of me, I cannot get her to understand that I'm not seeing anybody else. She thinks that when I come home late that I'm off doing, whatever with whoever. And what can I do to convince her?
It's usually fairly difficult, and you have to make you have to do some things. You have to submit to some things with very little dignity. If you're super hardcore about doing this, you can actually record your actions and where you've been and what you've been doing. They have those little GPSs. They cost next to nothing. You can stick on your car. You can hand her your phone. But here's the problem. If she's crazy, Ken, There's nothing you can do. And I'm giving you from a guy that's had to prove I'm not, everybody used to think of me, and rightly so, a cheater and a liar. You know why? Because I cheated and I lied to all my girlfriends. But when I stopped doing it, it drove me crazy that nobody would believe me, and I started volunteering certain things. Like, another one for me, this doesn't apply to you, drug tests. I used to take drug tests in my own home because everybody thought I was lying. So you could do the GPS on your car, let her see your phone, let her see your text, give her all your passwords. But here's the problem. If it's craziness instead of legitimate jealousy, you're never going to prove it. And I say you should cut your losses on this. And I'm talking about, if everybody that said I'm not dating a guy with mental issues took off on me, I'd be a very lonely man. I'd take my meds and everything's going to be fine. But I see some mental issues. It's pretty funny, But this girl, the jealousy thing, I think it's bad. So if you offer to make her know and feel comfortable that you're not doing anything and she's still jealous, you got to get out of this, Ken. Thanks very much for the call. I appreciate it.
We've got time for another email on Danny Bonaduce.
Sorry about that, Ken. It seems like he likes that girl, but I don't think that's going away.
Nora in Seattle writes, after 8 years of marriage, my husband cheated and dumped me. And a week after I moved out, he moved his mistress in. Mm-hmm. My problem is I still love and I miss the good man he was. I realize that good man no longer exists, but I miss him and long for the future we had planned together. How do I get over him? I don't feel ready to date yet. Is there a formula for leaving bad love in the dust? I'd like to wake up tomorrow and realize he doesn't matter anymore. Please tell me what to do.
Yeah, I don't have that one for you, to be honest. You got to wait this one out, and it'll go away. I was talking to one of my kids one time, and they had a broken heart. And I said to him, listen, she's crying her eyes out. And I'm saying, with all good motives, you're not going to care in about a month. I don't remember how old she was then, 17. This is all going to go away. This isn't real. Well, in a longer case, because this was your husband, this might take a year, but it's still just a small amount of I don't think a year. I think 6 months. I think hunker down and cry. It's fine. Have a couple of drinks, cry your eyes out. Don't
Poor
date
Gibbons
until
is nodding his head, agreeing with you.
Of course you're giving me. I'm a life coach, for God's sakes. Of course I'm right. What am I supposed to be grateful? But cry your eyes out, knowing you're doing the right thing. When you're sitting in your room crying, going, oh my God, I'm so lonely. Know that that's not weird or crazy. That's what 50 million American women are doing right now, and probably 75 American men. Do the right thing, and it will go away in all good time. And you're not going to miss the good guy he used to be. You're going to resent the trash he turned into. And I think that's better, because that's fair, because he's a punk and you're not. There you go.
That's awesome.
That's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Life Coach, of course, brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men.